Prepare to be amazed. With 100 facts that seem out of this world, this video is full of mind-blowing data, from animal curiosities and natural phenomena to secrets of space and our own bodies. You won't want to miss a single one. Hit play and discover how incredible our universe is. Hiccups can last for years. Charles Osborn had the longest recorded case, which lasted 68 years. It started after an accident in 1922. The world's smallest snail measures less than a millimeter. It's called Angustifolia dominicae and is so small it could fit on the tip of a needle. It was discovered in China. A single lightning bolt can heat the air to 30,000 degrees. This is 5 times hotter than the surface of the sun. That extreme temperature generates the sound of thunder. Sharks have existed for over 400 million years. They survived the dinosaurs and 5 mass extinctions. They are one of the oldest predators on the planet. Bouvet Island is the most remote place on Earth. Located in the South Atlantic, it is covered in ice and has no permanent inhabitants. It is a territory of Norway. There are 100 times more bacteria in your body than human cells. Although it sounds alarming, many of these bacteria are essential for your health, especially in the gut. Hot water freezes faster than cold water, known as the Impemba effect. This phenomenon does not have a completely accepted explanation by scientists. Sea otters hold hands while they sleep. This prevents them from drifting apart while floating in groups, called rafts. They also wrap their pups in seaweed to keep them from drifting away. The sound of footsteps in the snow is caused by breaking ice crystals. When you step, you compress the air trapped between the crystals, creating that characteristic crunch. The Sahara Desert was covered in water thousands of years ago. About 10,000 years ago, the Sahara was a lush landscape of rivers and lakes. This is known from fossils and cave paintings. The human body glows faintly, although it is not visible to the naked eye. Our skin emits a faint bioluminescence, which is strongest in the afternoon, a day on Earth. 1.4 billion years ago lasted only 18 hours. The moon was much closer, and its gravity gradually slowed the planet's rotation. Koalas have fingerprints almost identical to humans. They are so similar that they can be confused with ours at crime scenes. The Milky Way is slowly colliding with the Andromeda Galaxy. The impact is estimated to occur in about 4.5 billion years, forming a new galaxy. The Great Wall of China is not visible from space to the naked eye. Despite its length, its color blends with the surroundings, and the human eye cannot distinguish it from that distance. The human brain uses the same amount of energy as a 10W light bulb. Despite its small size, it consumes 20% of the body's total energy at rest. Clownfish can change sex if their partner dies. All clownfish are born male and can become female when necessary for reproduction. In the Earth's core, iron flows like a superheated liquid. This current generates the magnetic field of our planet, which protects us from solar radiation. There are more stars in the universe than grains of sand on all the beaches on Earth. It is estimated that there are around a septillion stars, an almost unimaginable number. The moon moves away from the Earth by about 3.8 cm each year. This slow retreat affects the tides and, in the long term, the rotation rate of our planet. Some sharks never stop swimming because they need constant oxygen. Water must continuously flow over their gills for them to breathe. If they stop, they can suffocate. The bee hummingbird of Cuba is the smallest bird in the world. It measures only 5 millimeters and weighs less than 2 grams. It is so small that it is often mistaken for an insect. The International Space Station travels at $28,000 km/h, completing an orbit around the Earth every 90 minutes. This means that astronauts see 16 sunrises a day. White chocolate is not real chocolate. It does not contain cocoa solids, only cocoa butter, sugar, and milk. That's why it tastes so different. The eyes of a giant squid can measure up to 30 centimeters in diameter. Their enormous eyes allow them to detect the faintest light in the depths of the ocean. The tongue of a blue whale can weigh more than an elephant. Additionally, its mouth can hold up to 90 tons of water and food in a single gulp. Pigs cannot look at the sky. The shape of their neck and spine prevents them from doing so. They need to lie down to look at the stars. The brain generates around 5,000 thoughts a day. Although not all are conscious, this constant flow of ideas shows how active our mind is. The longest national anthem is that of Greece. It has 158 verses, although only the first two are usually sung officially. Bees can recognize human faces through patterns and configurations. They can identify faces like us, which helps them remember who is friendly and who is not. Days on Venus are longer than its years. It takes 243 Earth days to rotate on its axis, but only 225 days to orbit the Sun. You could celebrate your birthday before a day passes. Human DNA is 60% similar to that of a banana. Although we are very different, we share basic elements of life. This shows our connection with all forms of life. In space, astronauts can grow up to 5 centimeters taller. The lack of gravity allows the spine to stretch, but when they return to Earth, they return to their original height. An octopus has 3 hearts. 2 pump blood to the gills, and the third distributes it throughout the body. Interestingly, the latter stops beating when they swim. Mount Everest grows due to tectonic movements. It increases by about 4 millimeters a year. However, it also erodes slowly due to extreme weather. The Atacama Desert has places where it hasn't rained in 500 years. Considered the driest place on the planet, there are even areas where no microbial life is detected. Starfish can regenerate their arms, and some can even regenerate a whole body. If they lose an arm, they can regrow it. In some cases, an arm can regenerate the entire animal. Flamingos turn pink due to their diet. They eat shrimp and algae rich in carotenoids that tint their feathers. Without this diet, they would be white or gray. The sun will lose its energy in about 5 billion years. It will become a red giant and then a white dwarf. Don't worry, there's still plenty of time. There are more trees on Earth than stars in the Milky Way. It is estimated that there are about 3 trillion trees compared to about 300 billion stars. Forests are essential for our survival. Ants do not sleep like us. Instead of prolonged sleep, they take micro-naps of a few seconds. They can have up to 250 of these a day. The heart of a blue whale can weigh as much as a small car. It beats about 6 times per minute when diving. When pumping, it can move 220 liters of blood in a single beat. Potatoes can absorb Wi-Fi signals. Due to their water content and dielectric properties, they are ideal for simulating human bodies in connectivity tests. Male seahorses are the ones that give birth. They have a special pouch where they incubate the female's eggs. They can give birth to up to 2,000 tiny offspring at a time. Diamonds can rain on Jupiter and Saturn. Extreme pressures turn carbon into solid diamonds. These are believed to fall like rain towards the core. The human body has just over 37 trillion cells. These work together to keep us alive. Every second, millions of them die and are replaced. A teaspoon of honey is the work of 12 bees in their entire lives. Each bee produces only a small fraction of honey, but together they manage to fill entire hives. In Japan, there are vending machines for almost everything, from umbrellas and rice to hamburgers and fresh eggs. They even have machines that dispense hot ramen. Chocolate was currency in ancient Mesoamerican civilizations. The Aztecs valued it so much that they used it for trade. 10 cocoa beans could buy a rabbit. The saguaro cactus can store more than 400 liters of water. This desert giant uses that reserve to survive years without rain. Newborn pandas are as small as a stick of butter. They weigh just about 100 grams and are completely dependent on their mother. The lowest temperature recorded on Earth was 89.2 degrees. This occurred in Antarctica at the Vostok Station in 1983. Crocodiles can live over 100 years. These reptiles have existed since the time of the dinosaurs and are extraordinarily long-lived. Bamboo can grow up to 91 centimeters in a single day. It is one of the fastest-growing plants in the world, and some species are edible. A shrimp's heart is in its head. It is located behind the brain, within a structure called the cephalothorax. The most expensive toilet paper in the world is made of gold. This extravagant 22-carat roll costs $1.3 million. There are more active volcanoes underwater than on land. It is estimated that there are around 1 million, and many are in the Pacific Ring of Fire. The giraffe has the same number of neck vertebrae as humans. Both have 7, but the giraffes are much longer. The ocean sunfish can weigh up to 2 tons. It is the heaviest bony fish in the world and can grow up to 3 meters long. The human eye can distinguish up to 10 million colors. However, some people with tetrachromacy can see even more shades. Ants can carry up to 50 times their own weight. This is like a human lifting a small car with ease. Lake Baikal in Russia contains 20% of the world's unfrozen fresh water. It is the deepest lake on the planet with a depth of 1,642 meters. Shooting stars are actually tiny grains of space dust. Most are the size of a grain of sand and disintegrate upon entering the atmosphere. The loudest sound recorded on Earth was the eruption of Krakatoa in 1883. Its explosion was heard more than 4,800 kilometers away. Cockroaches can live for weeks without a head. They can survive thanks to their decentralized nervous system, but eventually die of hunger. The oxygen we breathe was mainly generated by marine algae. These tiny plants produce up to 70% of the oxygen in the atmosphere. Cats have 32 muscles in each ear. This allows them to move their ears in different directions to locate sounds. The Earth weighs approximately 5.97 trillion tons. This mass includes everything we know: mountains, oceans, and the Earth's core. Human skin renews itself completely every 28 days. In a year, you will have lost and replaced about 4 kilograms of dead cells. The shortest river in the world, Roe, measures only 61 meters. It is located in Montana, USA, and connects a spring with a larger river. Goats have rectangular pupils. This gives them a panoramic vision to detect predators in their environment. The Sahara expands by about 48 kilometers each year. Climate change and desertification are rapidly increasing its size. On Saturn, winds can reach 1,800 km/h. This is faster than the speed of sound on Earth. Sea turtles can smell the ocean from thousands of kilometers away. They use this sense to navigate and return to the beaches where they were born. A koala can sleep up to 22 hours a day. This is due to their low-calorie diet based on eucalyptus leaves. The largest iceberg recorded was the size of Jamaica. It measured 1,000 square kilometers and broke off from Antarctica in 1956. Bats are the only mammals that can fly. Their wings are made of skin stretched over bones similar to those of a hand. In space, you can't cry. Without gravity, tears don't fall. They simply accumulate in the eyes like small bubbles. Zebras have unique patterns like human fingerprints. No zebra has the same stripes as another, making them unique. Mars's atmosphere is 95% carbon dioxide. This makes life as we know it impossible without technological assistance. Elephants can hear sounds through their feet. They perceive seismic vibrations with special sensors in their legs. Oysters can change sex several times throughout their lives. This allows them to adapt to their environment to maximize reproductive chances. A chameleon not only changes color to camouflage, but also to regulate its temperature and communicate with other chameleons. Light takes 1.3 seconds to travel from the Moon to Earth. Although it seems immediate, this brief delay is noticeable in live broadcasts from space. Penguin feathers are incredibly dense. They have up to 100 feathers per square inch to stay warm in icy waters. The stonefish is the most venomous fish in the world. Its dorsal spines can cause unbearable pain and even be lethal. Trees can talk to each other through their roots. They use an underground network of fungi to exchange nutrients and send warning signals. Lobsters can regenerate their limbs. If they lose a leg or a claw, they can regrow it over time. Coral is an animal, not a plant. It is composed of tiny polyps that work together to form reefs. The lava of the Kilauea volcano can reach temperatures of 1,250 degrees Celsius. It is one of the most active volcanoes in the world, located in Hawaii. Octopuses have 9 brains, 1 main and 8 small ones, 1 for each tentacle, making them extremely intelligent. The city of Venice sinks about 2 millimeters each year. This is due to soil compaction and rising sea levels. Cows have best friends. They spend more time with certain companions and show signs of stress if separated. The ocean contains around 20 million tons of gold. It is dissolved in tiny amounts, making it impossible to extract economically. Dry ice does not melt, it sublimates, changing directly from solid to gas, creating its characteristic smoke cloud. An ostrich's eye is bigger than its brain. Their eyes take up more space in their skull, giving them excellent vision. The Amazon produces 20% of the world's oxygen. That's why it's called the planet's lung, although much of this oxygen is consumed by the ecosystem itself. And that's the end of this fascinating journey full of curiosities. Which of these facts surprised you the most? If you know any more incredible ones, leave them in the comments. If you want more, don't forget to like, subscribe, and activate the bell to not miss our next videos full of amazing facts.